Alright guys, your fellow Gen Z Brit, born in the 2000s, very curious mind. Today I'm going to be checking out a flashback to 1975, a timeline of life in America. Now, obviously, I wasn't born during these times, and I have no clue what life was like specifically in the year 1975. I probably get some sort of a gist with some of the videos I've been doing. But of course, as always, I'm excited to check this one out nonetheless, and I'll be very curious to see what kind of things were said and how this brings back some memories for you guys. Some of you may not know that I'm doing some bonus content on my Patreon. I'm doing some extra bonus movie reactions, some album reviews, and sitcom reviews of some 1970s and 80s classics. So if any of you guys want to get a Gen Z perspective on some of the stuff I'm putting on the screen and more, then definitely consider checking out the link in the description to the Patreon. I definitely plan on doing a lot more on there. So if you're watching this in the future, keep a lookout and see some of the recent stuff that I put on there. You may see something that interests you that I have not mentioned in this video. That's where you're gonna get all that exclusive bonus content that I'm not going to post on YouTube, as well as early access to a lot of these videos. And it'll be a great support to the channel if you guys love my content. But guys, with that being said, don't forget to smash that like button if you guys want to see more. Let me know what other videos you want me to check out, and as well, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss another one of these videos. With that being said, guys, let's get straight into this video. Let's go.
1975 marked the official end of the Vietnam War and was a devastating loss to the United States. After years of sacrifice, Saigon was taken by the North Vietnamese, with remaining U.S. personnel narrowly escaping by helicopter from the U.S. Embassy.
Oh, that's
This year also introduced us to the summer blockbuster.
I didn't even know that much about the Vietnam War, but I know that's a war that went on, especially with the US, that the US involved with. I mean, I could do a deep dive into it if you guys want me to, if you guys are interested. But that sounds interesting, man. Okay, it's okay. Vietnam War.
This year also introduced us to the summer blockbuster movie, with the release of a movie that had everyone fearing the ocean.
Well,
The summer of 1975 was full of mystery,
it's gotta be Jaws.
especially after a disappearance that had everyone asking one question: where's Jimmy Hoffa?
Jimmy, huh?
The new year brought us a new game show, because on January 6th, Wheel of Fortune premiered on NBC.
Oh, wow.
The game show was hosted by Chuck Woolery, while Susan Stafford was spinning the letters.
Never heard of these people before, but I've heard of Wheel of Fortune. 1975. Okay.
On January 29th, an explosion rocked the headquarters of the U.S. State Department in Washington, D.C.
Oh.
No one was hurt, but the damage was extensive, impacting 20 offices on 3 separate floors.
Oh, that's serious.
Hours later, another bomb was found at a military induction center in Oakland, California, and was safely detonated. The domestic terrorist group, the Weather Underground, claimed responsibility for the bombs.
The Weather Underground. What is going on? Letting off bombs.
On March 19th, Pennsylvania became the first state to allow girls to compete with boys in high school athletics. After a court decision, the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association was ordered to permit girls to practice and compete with boys in all interscholastic athletics, including contact sports like football.
No way. Anyways, but that's interesting though. That's interesting. That was a 1975 thing. Because I know when I was in P, they let you play with the girls, but you always kind of just felt bad. You just felt bad, man. For some of them. But there was one girl that was really good though. We like playing with her but then you still, the physical thing was just like, you still feel. Anyways, I'm probably just gonna start getting into some other conversations. But let's just continue, man.
Was ordered to permit girls to practice and compete with boys in all interscholastic athletics, including contact sports like football.
That's interesting. Pennsylvania.
On March 30th, Easter Sunday, the deadliest mass shooting to take place at a private home was carried out in Hamilton, Ohio.
Whoa.
James Ruppert murdered 11 of his family members at an Easter gathering, and then called police 3 hours later and waited for them to arrive. Ruppert was convicted of 2 of the killings, but was found not guilty for the other 9 by reason of insanity.
You're joking. No way. Okay, how do you kill 11? Rest in peace to them, first of all. How do you kill 11 and then only get done for 2 and then 9 for insanity? Why would the 2 not for insanity as well? And then how did you stop at 2? Like, what? So it was the first 2 were conscious and then the rest of them were just like, okay, no, you just went crazy at that point? Something sounds fishy about that. But that's a tragic event, though. So I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a bit too curious. Maybe I should be more sensitive. But even then, that's like, but that's so tragic.
By reason of insanity.
That's a segue from letting girls play to a guy. I probably got to be careful on YouTube as well.
On April 4th, at a time when most Americans were still using typewriters, friends Bill Gates and Paul Allen founded Microsoft, a company that made computer software in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
That's 1975. Is that young Bill Gates right here? And this other guy that he founded it with, it's like, did people even know this other guy existed? Because everyone talks about Bill Gates.
4th, at a time when most Americans were insanity.
Do people even know the other guy exists?
On April 4th, at a time when most Americans were still using typewriters, friends Bill Gates and Paul Allen founded Microsoft, a company that made computer software in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Never heard of Paul Allen before.
On May 30th, distance runner Steve Prefontaine died after losing control of his car and crashing into a rock wall in Eugene, Oregon. Prefontaine held every American outdoor track record between 2,000 and 10,000 meters when he died at the age of 24.
24 as well. He lost control of his car. Damn, rest in peace, Prefontaine.
On June 7th, Sony introduced the Betamax, the first home recordable video cassette. The Betamax would be short-lived because JVC's VHS tape would be introduced the next year.
Oh, okay. So that was before VHS.
On June 20th, Universal Pictures released director Steven Spielberg's adaptation of the best-selling book Jaws. The story of a great white shark that terrorized a New England resort town became an instant blockbuster and the highest-grossing film in movie history at the time. It also made countless viewers terrified to go swimming at the beach.
All the tourist attractions near the coastline, you know what I'm saying, started losing money after that. I'm just thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking there, but I could just imagine, like, just sales are down. Nobody wants to go to the beach anymore, like, because of this show. I'll be curious to know if that impacted any of you guys. Like, I know a lot of you guys could watch that when you were really young, and before this, like, this rated stuff, R-rated stuff came into play. So I'll be curious to see if Jaws traumatized any of your childhoods and your perception of going into the ocean.
On July 30th, Teamsters Union President Jimmy Hoffa was reported missing in Detroit, Michigan. Although his body was never found, it is believed he was a victim of a mafia hit, but Hoffa's fate has remained a mystery.
Yo, what is going on? Said 1975, why is there so much happening?
On August 25th, Bruce Springsteen's third album, Born to Run, was released. The album was not only Springsteen's breakthrough album, but also the record that forever cemented the prolific singer-songwriter's place in rock and roll history.
Wow, that is, talk about starting with a bang. I've heard of Bruce Springsteen. I think I've heard one song from him.
On September 5th, Lynette Fromme, a follower of jailed cult leader Charles Manson, attempted to assassinate President Gerald Ford in Sacramento, California.
Oh, gosh.
The attempt was stopped by a Secret Service agent, and Fromme was arrested, convicted, and sentenced to life in prison.
No way. Who would have thought? What is going on?
On September 22nd, a second assassination attempt was made against President Ford.
Huh?
This time it was a radical FBI informant named Sarah Jane Moore, who took the shot in San Francisco. Luckily, the gun sight was off, and she narrowly missed him before being taken down.
Ooh.
She too would receive a life sentence for the crime.
What is going on? Assassination attempts, man.
On October 4th, a small Cessna carrying professional wrestlers crashed in Wilmington, North Carolina. John Valentine, Ric Flair, Bob Brugers, Tim Woods, and David Crockett were on board the plane, and the crash killed the pilot and severely injured several of the NWA wrestlers.
This is getting morbid. A lot of people...
On October 11th, NBC aired the first episode of Saturday Night Live. The late-night sketch comedy show's first host was George Carlin, with Billy Preston and Janice Ian as their first musical guest.
Small world.
The show, created by Lorne Michaels, made stars of Chevy Chase, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and Gilda Radner, among many, many others.
Okay, wow. George Carlin is I've seen some of his like stuff when he was like older, and the fact that he was like one of the first hosts of this makes sense. I just forgot like just how ancient he was. Like just like he's 1975, he's hosting SNL. He looks like a grown man here as well. Like you must rest in peace, George Carlin. I probably should be making jokes like that. You know, a lot of you guys know, sometimes I like to be cheeky, man. Sometimes I'd be putting out those cheeky ancient jokes. You know, some people might dislike the video after that, but I mean, it is what it is, to be honest. Like, you know, stop being a snowflake, right? Like, what?
Stars of Chevy Chase, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and Gilda Radner, among many, many others.
I don't even know who those people are, to be honest. I'll be honest.
On November 10th, a ship called the Edmund Fitzgerald sank 15 miles off the coast of Whitefish Point, Michigan, in Lake Superior.
Wow.
A day earlier, the Fitzgerald left Superior, Wisconsin with 26,000 tons of ore, headed for Detroit, Michigan. All 29 crew members on board were lost in the rough seas of Lake Superior.
Rest in peace, man. This is why I don't go on boats, man. Because I can't swim.
November 19th saw the release of the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, based on the book by Ken Kesey. The film, directed by Milos Forman and starring Jack Nicholson and Louise Fletcher, would go on to win the Academy Award for Best Picture the following year.
Still don't know. Never heard of that either.
To close out the year, on December 28th, the Hail Mary was born. With just 32 seconds left in the NFC Divisional Playoff game, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Roger Staubach threw a legendary 50-yard touchdown pass to Drew Pearson to defeat the Minnesota Vikings. The Cowboys' luck would run out in Super Bowl X a few weeks later, when they were beat by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That sounds interesting. I don't even watch American football like that. Interesting stuff, man. Look, a lot of that stuff was the first time I've heard about it. I think the only thing that I kind of recognized was pretty much nothing, really. Yeah. I wonder how much this resonated with a lot of you guys watching. Definitely let me know down in the comment section below if you made this point. If this brought back any memories for you guys, if you grew up during this time, were you like young? Were you an adult? Like, I'll be very curious to see if anyone has any sort of insight into what happened that year. But it seemed like a very interesting year. A lot of people trying to end people. A lot of people attempt and famous people seizing. I'm trying to be careful on YouTube. But then you had some more lighthearted stuff like SNL, like men and women being able to play together, sports. And then, you know, Steve Jobs. But other than that, you know, it's very interesting, man. Very interesting. I wonder what other iconic periods there were. And if there's any other iconic periods you guys want me to check out, like years where a lot happened, then definitely let me know in the comment below. Mrs. Point comment on a blue heart, so I know who my real ones are who made this point about just clicking off the video as soon as I started speaking, because I appreciate you guys. And all hashtag flex up for those of you guys to this day that are still struggling with emojis, and you've been watching me for so long now and you still haven't figured it out. Come on, guys, like, come on, I'm gonna keep saying it. You know, and don't forget to like the video before you head on out, of course. And if you want to check out more videos like this, definitely consider checking out the playlist. That'll be linked at the end of the video. And as always, guys, look, I've been your boy JayFlex. This has been me checking out 1975, a timeline in America. And for those of you guys who missed this point, you guys have been absolutely wonderful. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.